So Tricia Paytas, a YouTuber that we spoke about earlier this week, has a video response to us after we criticized her support for Mitt Romney. Now, we live in a democracy. You guys can support whoever you want to support, but if you do so, you need to have good reasons for it. Her reasons were, or her reasons included, but were not limited to, Mitt Romney is hot, and I have a cat named Mittens, or Mitts, so that's why I support Mitt Romney. So we, kind of criticized or questioned her intelligence. And then we did make fun of her looks a little bit, and I actually want to apologize for that. I basically said that women shouldn't go to her channel for makeup advice. Women should make their own decisions. So let's watch her first video response to our criticism.
After my last video, I wasn't going to put up another video. I was just going to kind of just let it pass, let it slide. There were just too many attacks on me, too many attacks from people who think they are so smart. They think that I'm dumb because I say like and a lot. I mean, well, let me just tell you, and this is going out to the Young Turks and all these other people who are like, Obama's not taking away your religion, Obama's not making you pay for anyone's birth control, Obama's not forcing you to support abortion. Yes, yes, and yes, you are wrong on all accounts. You guys can Google this, you can, there's facts when it comes down to it.
Okay, so we didn't make fun of her because she says like and okay? We made fun of her because her reasoning for supporting Romney was that he was hot and that she has a cat named Mitts. That kind of stuff worries me.
Well, not necessarily that that's her reasons for supporting him, but those are the reasons that she's putting out there for the public to consume.
Right, exactly.
If you say silly things, people are going to say you're silly.
Exactly. So there's that. And then also in another video where she was attempting to make political points, she said something about how Obama is trying to force everyone to pay for other people's abortions. That's not happening at all. So she's horribly misinformed, and she's spouting that out to her YouTube followers, and it bothers me. I don't think that it's right. Jared, did you want to jump in?
Well, whenever someone, this is probably 95% of the time, whenever someone says fact, and fact, look it up. How about you go, since you know these facts, go ahead and espouse these facts to me. You don't know because you're like, well, look it up because I saw it somewhere or someone told me on Fox News. So and you listen and believe these things. There's a lot of things I look up every day, and as I see it and it supports our point of view, I'm like, I should look this up to make sure that I'm not just taking it from somebody's point of view that happens to agree with what I'm looking for. You have to actually know what you're talking about. And when you say just look it up, you probably don't remember where you heard that from. And it's probably a source that is lying to you.
We have a few more videos. Let's look at the next one.
So I don't want to be known as the Romney girl, but I would like to inform you guys, I covered up so there's no distractions. I mean, I didn't know what else to do to have people actually listen to the words that I'm saying. And if this is not your opinion or you don't agree, that is fine. That is America. That is democracy. That is why we have elections. So Obama, my Obama versus the Catholic Church video should have been Obama versus Christians, because basically what this is my freedom of religion is being taken away. It's as simple as that.
She goes on to say crazy things about the world, and it seems to be derived from the fact that she is coming at the election from a religious point of view. That's what drives her views. She says that he's attacking Christianity. I'm sorry, I've got news for you.
What?
He's Christian. I don't think he should be, but he is a Christian.
All right, let me tell you what the reality is, because her main argument about how Obama and the Obama administration is attacking Christianity is the fact that Obama wants to make sure that birth control is affordable and accessible for women who cannot afford it, for all women, okay? And originally, he wanted all employers, regardless of their religious affiliation, to provide health insurance that would cover birth control for women. But then when the Catholic Church made a big to-do about it, he said, all right, that's fine, then let's just make sure that private insurers, under all circumstances, provide it for these women. So all women will have access to birth control. Doesn't mean that as a religious person, you have to use birth control. Doesn't mean that as a religious employer, you have to provide that birth control, right? So that's what the reality is, but she doesn't know anything, and she's commenting on politics, which is what frustrates me so much. So she has the 200,000 subscribers, which is great, right? And they're following her for makeup advice. And then every once in a while, it's like, boo, here's a political video. Here are my thoughts on politics. And I don't want impressionable young people to think that what she's saying is real, because it's misinformation. It's bullshit. So that's my problem with her.
Wow, I don't think I'm going to be able to match that level of emotion, unfortunately.
Okay.
But
because I just, when she comes at you with that, look, I'm going to tell you what the reality is, okay? Look it up. Yeah, that's what we do for our careers. So we have looked it up, and we know what the reality is. You do makeup, okay? And that doesn't mean that you can't comment on politics. Just make sure you do your research before you comment on it. And when people criticize you for not knowing what you're talking about, don't whine about it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and you can't just Google it. For JR was talking about this. Like, there's a lot of crazy shit on the internet. If I go looking for theories, I'm gonna end up on like stormfront.org or something like that. It's not enough that it's on Google.
And by the way, a federal judge just recently ruled that employers cannot say that they don't want to provide contraception or contraception coverage through their insurance because employers pay their employees, and the employees can do whatever the hell they want with that money, right? You can't tell an employee what he or she can use that money for. It was a really interesting ruling because no judge had come at it from that perspective.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. As you said, we don't want people to watch that video and then think that what she said was true. When she talks about the whole being forced to pay for abortions, that the government is going to pay for abortions.
That's not happening.
This frustrated me when the Affordable Health Care Act was initially being talked about. The Republicans were like, well, you have to add a stipulation that the money can't go towards abortion. And one of the Democrats is like, there's already like 10 laws stopping that. I'm burdened by layer upon layer of can't fund abortion, can't fund abortion. There's so many. It doesn't take just one.
All right, there's one more video. Let's take a look at that.
The Catholic faith is everything to me. The core of the Catholic faith is everything to me. It's the church Jesus started. Jesus Christ started the church, the universal church, you know? And in Matthew 16, it says, you know, the church will not fail. You know, the Catholic Church will not fail. Jesus, straight from Jesus' mouth, the church will not fail. And it shouldn't be just Catholics. It should be Christians against, you know, Obama, because Obama is forcing us to commit sin.
People are allowed to hold whatever beliefs they want to hold. Yeah. But if you are going to claim something, you just have to have the evidence to back it up. Now, every once in a while, of course, we'll do a story and we won't get every single fact right, but we don't do that on purpose. And when it's brought to our attention, I like to believe that we do our best to fix that problem, right? Yeah. And in this case, she's being defiant about it. She's refusing to realize what the reality is, and that's what frustrates me. And when you have your fans sending me tweets whining about how your feelings are hurt, well, look, how about you come correct in your videos and not make things up?